안녕하세요, 첼스테리입니다. 오늘 준비한 영상은 조노비 미켈이 진행하는 팟캐스트에 출연한 디에고코스타 인터뷰 번역본입니다. 이 영상이 해외에서 화제인 이유는 디에고코스타 특유의 거침없는 발언과 솔직한 단어 선택 때문인데요. 현지 팬들뿐만 아니라 언론에서도 이 정도일 줄은 몰랐다는 반응이 나올 정도였답니다. 첼시 시절 이야기부터 감독, 선수들에 대한 리얼한 비하인드 스토리가 정말 필터 없이 담겨 있으니 끝까지 즐겁게 시청해주세요.
How are you? You good? Yeah, good.
Yes.
Tell us what is Diego Costa up to right now? What are you doing? What is life about now for Diego Costa?
Right now, I'm changing my son's diapers. I have a 7-month-old boy. I'm in Madrid, living with my family, because I was away for a long time. The last 2 years, I was playing in the Brazilian league, and my family stay in Madrid. So, I decided to come back to Spain to be close to them, because I have 2 daughters who are studying and I wasn't there. I was alone in Brazil. And they were staying in Madrid. So in the end, I had to decide to come back to Madrid. And now I'm enjoying the time with my family.
How many nappies do you change a day?
Well, usually 2. When he poops very often, I try to leave it until his mother arrives so she can change him. But the truth is that I'm doing really well. In the end, I have to do something, because when you are playing, you have an active and busy life, and now, when you stop, if you don't do anything, you struggle. In the end, with the little ones, I have a very difficult job, but I really enjoy it.
Officially, we've not had. Are you officially retired?
It's possible, very possible. In the end, I didn't look for a team to play for. I had the options of staying in Brazil or going somewhere else, but nothing has given me the desire to continue. The truth is that I'm feeling fine at the moment, but you need to have a motivation, not just to play for the sake of playing. And in the end, I have to be with my family. So I think it's probably over. I will make the final decision at the end of the year.
You spent 3 years at Chelsea, Diego, 2014 to 2017. You're back in London, of course. How do you reflect on your time at Chelsea? Was your 3 years at Stamford Bridge the happiest of your career?
Yes, the truth is that I really enjoy it. Being in the Premier League, being in a team like Chelsea with so many high-quality players, I really enjoy my 3 years here. We won 2 Premier League titles. I scored a lot of goals. To be honest, the fans and I always had a very special connection. And I had a great time. It was a stage of my life that I really enjoyed. I have a very good memories here, and because of that, I got the invitations to come and play at the Legends match here at Stamford Bridge. I came, but I don't normally like to play in those matches. But when I left home, I started to get excited to be in London with the fans, wearing the Chelsea shirt again, even if it's a Legends match, and being with my old teammates, and even if they never understand me, but with the mimic, signs, or the way I speak, if they understand me, they always treat me very well. And I feel very welcome here.
Of course, we talk a lot, Diego, about Jose Mourinho. He had a big personality. You talk about it, John. Jose was larger than life. You look to me as if you've got a big personality as well. What was your relationship like with Jose? Did you guys work well together?
For me, Mourinho, personally, was the coach I enjoyed the most. When the team was doing well, Mourinho was the best coach a player could ever have in your team, because he gives you life. You come to training happy. You can enjoy yourself if he wins. If he loses, Mourinho is like, I don't know. I still don't know how he came about. He always was winning with so many success. I think he didn't know how to digest the defeats. But I think everyone who spent time with him, Mourinho had a very good relationship, because when you win with him, you enjoy training sessions. He gives you days off. He's a person who listens to you. He gives you affection. If you need support, if you need something from the family or a day off, or if you are not feeling well, he always is by your side. He is a person with a strong character, but he has a very good heart.
Nice. So, of course, Mourinho. But I need to ask you, of course, about, you just mentioned there Mourinho, but you spent most of your time as well in Atletico Madrid. What will you tell us about Diego Simeone? Obviously, he's been there for such a long time. He seemed to me like a manager that you will get into a fist fight with in the dressing room. Tell us, has there ever been a story about Diego Simeone? And what does Diego Simeone mean to you as a manager?
I don't think. Simeone is very intense. He's a person in the touchline that the way he speaks transmits a lot the desire to win. But then, he doesn't like to clash with a player. He never goes direct at you. He's very clever. He's a person who's been there for many years. If he has a problem with a player, or if a player is angry, he will never confront it. When the team is struggling, that's where he is best to handle the situation. Because he's always positive, pushing forward, he never blames the player, he always takes the responsibilities. He's very intense, very strong in training. He shares a lot of love in trainings and in the way he lives the game. He doesn't like to clash with the players. It's all the opposite. He likes to keep distance.
That makes sense.
Okay, really? So Diego Simeone or Jose Mourinho, who would you want to get into a fist fight with?
I can break them down very easily.
And what about Conte?
There is no fear. The truth is that I don't know. Mourinho, Conte, or Simeone. I don't know. They are... I don't know. I don't see it as a fight. Mourinho is more like a bully. Cholo is like...
Mourinho es un poco más cabrón, así. Cholo...
I will choose Cholo to fight. I would love to fight with Cholo. He is from Argentina, isn't it?
I love that, Diego. You were, I loved watching you. We all did in the Premier League. You had a lot of battles with a lot of defenders. Koscielny, Gabriel at Arsenal, Vertonghen at Tottenham. Who got the best out of you? Which team did you like playing against more than any other in the Premier League? Which team got the best out of Diego Costa?
I think everyone. Normally, I always play with good matches, but defenders like that, I used to like the match against Tottenham. Because it was always a fight, not just with me, but with everyone. It was a match where in the end, I don't know what happened, there was always a fight on the pitch. And in the end, I was always involved. Hazard, who doesn't fight with anyone, he was always there. Willian, who is like an angel, he was fighting too. So it was a match with a lot of fighting, but defenders from Liverpool, Van Dijk, yes. He's a very difficult defender. The truth is that the defenders here are very strong. You have to always be very intense and ready because they kick you and bite you all the time really hard.
And that match you've just mentioned now, Tottenham, that match, 2015 it was.
16,
yeah.
yeah.
2015, 16?
Yeah.
Stamford Bridge, Chelsea against Tottenham.
Battle of the Bridge.
The Battle of the Bridge, that fight. I was in the game. Your eyes was red.
Angry.
You were angry. What got you so angry? Was it because it was Tottenham? We did not want them to win in Stamford Bridge, or there was just something else that made you so angry that day in that game?
When a match has started very intense, with the defenders kicking you a lot, then you see the good guys with the ball from our team who didn't like to kick anyone. The other guys were coming to just play very hard. I felt like I must play also very rough. So in the end, it was a game, I don't know. They came looking to fight and mess around because in the end, we were and we are, with a lot of respect to Tottenham, we are a bigger club. Spurs is a big team, but you cannot compare Chelsea's history. At the end, we always had a lot of very good and intense games. It was a lot of fun. I used to love playing those kind of matches. The fights were part of the games.
In that game, today, there's VAR.
Yes.
If in that game there was VAR, you would have gotten 5 yellow, a red card for sure.
No.
You were kicking people,
No.
grabbing people's.
Impossible.
This is you putting.
No.
Diego, I was there with you. I see.
It's okay, pero
I was going to change the way I play, but they were going straight after me. Many times I used to provoke them more, not because I used to enjoy kicking the rivals, but to make them feel nervous so they can play my game. When somebody is angry, you lose control during the game. But it was never with a bad intention or with violence. Normally, I didn't elbow anyone. I never play in a level of violence. I play strong, but if someone came after me, I will respond. But
We talk, Diego, on this podcast a lot about the King of Africa, Didier Drogba. You replaced him at Chelsea. What kind of personality do you have, Diego? Did you feel pressure following on from Didier? Or did you feel, I will show that I'm the main man, that I'm the guy to continue this line of great strikers playing for Chelsea Football Club?
when I signed for Chelsea, it was only me, in theory, the only striker. And then Didier Drogba signed again. He came back. I knew Didier is God. I look up to him. I always like him. I always like watching really good strikers. And Didier was always one of the best in the world. So I came to Chelsea and Didier came back too. It was good. But I said, I'm in trouble. Because Didier here is an idol. He is one of the greatest in the club's history. But he came a little bit older. He was not going to change anything. Then Mourinho told me to don't worry, he's coming to be part of the squad, but if I don't score the goals I should, Didier is going to play 100%. But he was someone I love watching in training. I watch him from afar. I watch his movements, the way he controls, the way he knock down defenders off their feet. I always like to learn from the good guys. And luckily, I was lucky enough to start scoring a lot of goals. And Didier, from the very first minute, he was always treating me well. Because there are people who don't understand their moment. Didier knows how great he is. I hope we can have another player like him. That would be very good for Chelsea. But there is not a greater player like Didier Drogba in his position. Well, there is Sola too. But I will tell you how I see it. I don't know about older players from the past. Didier, from the first minute, he was always treating me well, with respect, with affection. I didn't see jealousy in any moment. With his history, he could be envious and wanting to play. And with me, from the first minute, he was always a person who treated me well. And luckily, I was scoring goals. He was more relaxed. He didn't have to work so hard to take my place.
Back.
He
Yeah,
came
come
back
back.
on
Yeah,
loan.
yeah.
Yeah.
He came back.
Yeah, yeah.
So he signed in 2014. I think Diego came back. Didier came back 2015.
The style both of you played, you and Didier Drogba, you guys are very, very physical kind of players. Very physical. You guys bully people and bully defenders. That's the way you played. Which striker today in the Premier League or do you think plays exactly same style as you and Didier Drogba in the Premier League?
The Premier League, un jugador.
The guy from Man United, from Cameroon,
And bueno,
Brian Mbemu.
But Haaland, no, play like you?
Oh, yes, Haaland. It's true. Haaland is more speed, his movements.
Speed, yeah.
But
Yeah,
Brian
but physical
Mbemu
also,
goes
yeah,
more
yeah.
for the challenge.
¿Cómo se llama este Memo?
He can hold more.
yeah,
Haaland
you got
is
it.
very strong. But Haaland,
Haaland es muy fuerte, pero Haaland es, tipo, está...
the way his team plays, he has a lot of space, so he can run. In our case, we used to look more for the individual challenges and to hold more for the ball.
Sí,
Haaland, in this moment, is the best striker in the world, in my opinion.
Para mi opinión.
Right now? In the world? Or only in the Premier League?
Bueno, the Premier League.
For me, the striker not many people talk about enough, and he's like a beast, is Harry Kane. Every year he scores a lot of goals, and he does his job, but he's just started to win trophies right now. But he's a striker who can score goals with right, left foot, headers, free kicks. For me, he's very complete. I think the press and the social media world doesn't give enough credit for his merits.
So Kane over Haaland,
No.
equal.
Haaland scores goals in every game. He's good and he wins trophies. That's the difference. If Haaland scores goals and wins trophies, he's always going to be better. If Harry Kane starts winning trophies like now, so the battle is going to be more equal. Because scoring goals without title is not the same.
What about João Pedro? Because we come back to Chelsea, a Brazilian new to the club. John, we've liked what he's done, Diego, at the start. He looks like he's settled in. Has he got what it takes to be Chelsea's number 9 and Brazil's number 9 for the World Cup next year?
I watched Pedro's matches when he signed in the summer during the Club World Cup in the USA. He's a player can play the role of number 9 or number 10. I think his best version is going to be having someone next to him because he's a striker can influence a lot. He has great technique, he knows how to finish, he's very good. So when they have someone who is there holding the ball, he can have a little bit more freedom. That's where he will play his best. Or he plays like a number 9. But he's strong and knows how to hold the ball. He needs to play in front of the goal and not in his back. That's my opinion.
A lot of Brazilian players come to the Premier League. This question, I've been longing to ask it for a long time. But they stay for short period. Why is that? I know obviously you played for Spain. We will ask you that question later. Why do you think Brazilian players, most especially, they come to the Premier League, superstars, but they come for short period, 2-3 years, and then they disappear? Why do you think that happens? Is it because of the intensity of the Premier League, or do you think it's because of the lifestyle of the Brazilian players? I know you guys like to enjoy your life. Do you think that is the reason why the Brazilian superstars, they come for only a short period of time in the Premier League?
The intensity in the Premier League is very different from the Brazilian league, and often they come here at a very young age. I was in Brazil recently, and I saw what it is. when you are in Brazil and you are playing well and you are young, they made you like a superstar already. Then people look at you like a big stars. So when you come to the Premier League or any other league abroad, you are just a normal player. Even if you are a star in Brazil and you are a big prospect when a big club buys you, some players struggle to gain confidence. And if you have the trust from the manager and teammates, the performance can improve. If you don't feel comfortable, it's going to be very difficult. So I think it's a bit of mentality. If you know that you are going to play for a very big club with a lot of good players, then the competition is always going to be there. So you cannot give up in any moment. And that can be difficult for a Brazilian when things don't go well at first. They feel down. They start to remember that in Brazil they were a big stars and here they are just another normal player. Then they start to have shadows that makes them feel down, because in the end, if you are patient, you know there is time for everything. Things can work out. So I think it's a mental issue many times.
It's interesting there, Diego, because John talks about short shelf life for Brazilian players. You were here 3 years, but you did well. You settled into the culture. You settled into the Premier League. You scored goals. You won titles. And then you were gone. I've read that you and Antonio Conte, I've also read that you were told you have to leave the club by text message. What is the truth? Tell the Chelsea fans. Did you want to leave? Did Conte force you out? What is the true story of your Chelsea exit?
The truth is, it all begins at the start of the third season, when Conte arrived. I had an offer to return to Spain. I told him that I wanted to go back to Spain, and he said to me, how could you let him go if he didn't have another striker? I told him that I'm not the sporting director of the club. We have to speak with the club. But the intentions was to return to Spain. At that time, I was a little sad. I don't know. The opportunity to go back to Spain came up and I thought about leaving. At the end, the things didn't work out, so we spoke again before the start of the new season. I asked him if he still wanted me to stay because I have other offers in the Premier League. Because if the coach doesn't want me, I had to look for somewhere else to play. And in the end, he said to me, don't worry, we are fine, let's play together. Okay. The league started, I scored goals, I was Chelsea top scorer. We won the league that year, everything was perfect. But you know, when you feel like something is not right, what I had initially said in pre-season, I felt like he had something inside him that he was angry. Then I went on holiday, I had a chance to renew with Chelsea. But then I sent a text message to Conte. Boss, I want to know if you will count on me next season. How is it going to be? And he replied to me via text message too. Diego, thank you very much for everything you have done, but I'm not counting on you. In the end, I knew it because he had something inside, because it's not normal for a coach not to count on a player who was his team's top scorer, who helped him along with his teammates to win the Premier League. And he waited for a moment like that. I sent the message to Marina and she immediately told me that what he did could not be done, that he was not the owner of the team.
por todo que lo ha hecho en un club, yo no merezco
In the
ese
end,
trato y
I was
no
in
vuelvo
Brazil,
con-
I was with my family,
no
and I've
vuelvo
told
al
Marina
Chelsea,
that
entonces
for everything
lo
I've
mejor
done for the
tiene
club, I don't deserve to
otra
be
vez
treated
al
like
United,
this.
que
So
salió
I will
bueno,
not
¿verdad?
return to
Los
Chelsea.
jugadores me
So the
llamaban de
best
estar
thing
y
to
venir
do
y
is
vamos a
to
echar,
sell me
porque,
back
mira,
to
Conte
Atlético
es
because the
como profesional
opportunity was
y
there
entrenador,
again.
ok, pero como persona es lo peor que tú puedes tener en un
The
día a día.
player used
Es
to
muy
call
malo.
me on
Es una
FaceTime,
persona
telling
que
me to come back.
no
Look,
confía en los
Conte is
demás,
okay
cree que
as
lo
a
sabe
professional
todo él,
coach, but as a person is the worst thing that you
una
can
persona
have
que
on
tú
a
vas
daily
a los
basis. It's
entrenamientos, tú
very
vas,
bad.
siempre está enfadado, siempre está con la mala cara.
He is a
Seguramente
person
no-
who
no
doesn't
debe follar en
trust
casa porque es
others.
un
He
chico muy
thinks he knows
amargado.
everything. You don't enjoy
La
training with
verdad
him.
que-
He's always angry,
que
always with a long
una pena
face.
porque yo estaba muy
Probably he
contento
doesn't
en
have
Chelsea,
sex at
que
home
no
because
iba a
he's a
crear un
very
problema,
bitter guy.
porque si vuelvo, los
It's a
jugadores querían que
shame
volviera para
because I was
nosotros.
very happy in Chelsea, but I
Volver
did
porque el
not
otro se
want
va,
to
porque
cause
ese
a
nosotros no
problem
queremos,
to
nadie
the
lo
club
quería,
because
tanto que
if
no
I
duró
come
nada.
back,
Pero bueno, lo pasó.
the
Una
players
pena,
want
pero
me to come back,
ya
but
pasó
nobody
por
liked him.
aguas,
That's why he
una persona
didn't
que
last long.
es
The
indiferente,
past
los
is the
títulos que
past.
tiene en
It's a
Chelsea
shame.
ha conseguido
The
conmigo.
titles he won
Para
at
su mala
Chelsea,
suerte,
he
que
won
no
them with
iba a
me
ganar más,
for
pero
his
no
bad
ganó.
luck. So I
Y al
wish
final
him
es
all
eso,
the best in his life,
desear lo
and
mejor
that's
en su vida y
it.
ya está.
So today, if you see Antonio Conte somewhere, you bump into him, what will you say to him?
No,
nada, si me
nothing.
saluda bien,
If he
bien,
comes
si
to
no me
say
saluda
hello,
tampoco, pero si
fine.
dice alguna
If he
cosa mal,
doesn't, it's the
hay
same.
problema.
If he says something bad, then we can argue. But I don't have a problem. He doesn't have a place in my heart. The past is the past. If he comes to say hello, it's perfect. But if he doesn't, I will not greet him either. If he wants something more, he can have it.
But it is good for the Chelsea fans, Diego. You didn't want to leave then. You would have stayed at Chelsea for many more years.
Sure. If I would like to stay longer, yes. I had an offer to renew my contract because the first few years, even though I won the league, it was difficult with the weather. It's very different here in London. I was alone with my family, and I'm still here doing interviews, and I think it's my fault not taking English lessons to feel more adapted in the city and to enjoy more. I always felt like I wasn't in a place where I didn't belong. But after the second or third year, I felt more comfortable. The family, the kids were in school. I was with the mentality to stay here for a couple of more years because I was playing for Chelsea and not any other team. It didn't happen at the end. But the truth is that the years I was here, I give my best to the fans. Everything I've done, I did with my desire, with my heart. And that's why people and the fans respect me for everything I did on the pitch.
Just to go back on that text message from Antonio Conte, when you forwarded that message to Marina, what was her reaction? What did she say? Did she try to convince you to stay? Did she say, okay, I will try to sort this problem out? Or Marina just said, okay.
No, Marina. Sí, fue cuando recibí la mensaje.
Sí. ¿Cuál fue su reacción de ella?
De ella, ¿no?
Si te trató de convencer.
No,
Marina told me that he couldn't do those kind of things, that he is not the owner of the club. More or less. I don't remember very well. She didn't like the way he treated her because she knew how important I was for the club, for the fans. And if he wanted to sell a player, this was the wrong way. So I told her that I'm not coming back. I want to go. It's impossible. If I want to go back, Conte needs to go. Conte just won the title. He's a very good manager, so I prefer to leave and go back to Spain. And at the end, we don't make a bigger problem. If I go back and I see him, we will probably have a big problems.
The other big decision That was a big decision for you, Diego, to leave Chelsea to go back to Spain. The other big decision you had in your career was to represent Spain. From Brazil to play for Spain. Why? Why did you decide to play for Spain?
At that time, I was doing very well in Spain.
Estaba muy bien en España y
And in Brazil, if you don't play for a big team, and also at that time I was not very well known in Brazil, I was called up once and then I didn't go again. If the strikers got injured and the coach would not call me, and I was continuing scoring a lot of goals in Spain, and with the time, the Spanish national team showed interest. So one director called me asking if I was keen, if I wanted to play for them. Listen, I would love to, but I'm not going to be in a national team of Spain without the national team captains accepting me. Because the director, the coach are one thing, but the players are another. Because in the end, I have to be with the players. I was always playing against them. And there was a lot of fighting. The captains have to speak to if they can accept me, and I would love it. Because at the time, Brazil didn't call me up. And I thought, okay, it's fine. I think the Brazil national team is always having very good strikers.
Una selección pequeña, la España era actual campeón y los jugadores que tenía, ¿no?
The coach has their own opinion, and I really wanted to be in the national team. That is not small. Spain was the current champion and the players they had, so I felt great desire to be with them. I'm very thankful when I was there. Everybody was treating me nice. I never felt strange with the players. Only the press was a bit difficult to accept it in some moments, but it's normal. The press is always going to make noise about it. So it was not a very difficult decision.
All right, let's lighten it up a bit. During your early days when you were young, I don't know, I think you were alone somewhere. And you guys, you came into your team bus. And I read somewhere, and you saw two people, they were robbing your bus. They were stealing something from your bus, team bus. And you went in the bus and you started to fight with them. Is this true? Tell us what happened.
No, I don't think I can remember. The only thing I can remember, once I was playing a game and one player punches me in the face and I went after him. He ran off into the crowd with his supporters. And I went there to get him, but at the end, nothing serious happened. But I don't remember anything about the robbers.
No one messes with Diego. You would love to play in this team.
I like to play for Chelsea anytime because our team was really good.
Yeah, how good was these guys, Diego? Like John, JT.
We were like tough dogs. We have a team full of tough dogs, you know? It's different. You need to have a coach with a strong personality. If we have a coach who didn't have a strong personality, the players will control the dressing room. So that's the difference when you have a young team. You need a softer coach, more friendly. If you have more experienced players with a lot of character, you need to have a manager like Conte, Mourinho, people with a strong personality to fight with us as a group.
And who do you think, what striker, who do you think is going to win the Golden Boot this season? Who do you think is going to be the highest goal scorer this season?
Haaland. Easy.
He's a machine.
You think it's Haaland?
Haaland.
No
In
Salah.
this season,
Haaland.
Haaland is going to score a lot of goals.
What do you like about him, Haaland? What do you like about him? A lot of people say too many things. I've said so many times in this podcast that my only reason, I think he's a fantastic striker, but I want to see him score goals in big games. In big games, he hasn't scored goals in big games. Yes, he scored against the so-called lower teams, but in big games, he hasn't scored big goals to win Man City titles. Do you think he needs to do that to become one of the best strikers?
Yes, for sure. He knows that when he starts scoring important goals, he will be in contest to win the Ballon d'Or. Those are the games he needs to score goals to decide championship, semi-finals, and if the striker scores, the team wins with his goals and wins title. He scores a lot of goals against all the teams. But if he starts scoring some decisive goals and wins titles, he will surely be fighting to win the Ballon d'Or. He's really hungry to score a lot of goals. He's never tired of scoring. And me, honestly, I will score a goal and then I wish there is another teammate who will score another goal. But he wants to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The more goals, the better for him. So I love it.